Hello, I'm Darian and I'm going to be going over how to use the FM system. An FM system is a classroom hearing equipment for students with hearing loss. It typically pairs with the student's personal devices and works with a teacher component to eliminate any classroom listening challenges. These challenges can include the ones we're facing now, such as masks and plexiglass, distance, because it picks up teacher's voice and sends it directly to the student. So a student wears a component that is typically their personal devices, such as a hearing aid, a cochlear implant, or a Roger Focus, which looks like a hearing aid, or a MyLink system. Any of these are student receivers that are worn by the student in order to pick up the sound. There's a teacher component that often looks like this touchscreen here, that is a transmitter. So this is worn by the teacher that transmits a signal to the student's receiver in order to send the sound directly to them. This is called an FM touchscreen, this specific model. This is the most common device used for the FM system that we see in the classroom with our students. This is the teacher worn component again. So this unit here only has a few buttons. The main one on the side right here is the power button. As you can see here, to turn it on, you press and hold until the lights blink and the system turns on. You then see three buttons. This button says Subnet, Network, Connect. Typically you want it on Network. Just as a default, this should be green here. Then there's the Connect button. This is what you use to connect to the student. And the Mute button here, which again you can use to mute if you have a private conversation, which I will talk about a little later. So the student component is worn by the student, but in order to connect it, it needs to be either taken off and put right beside the FM, or the FM can be held up to the student's ear, and this connect button on the bottom is pressed. If a student's device is connected, it will say whatever the device is connected. So it will say, for example, a Roger X is connected to pair with the little boxes on the hearing aids. It will say a Roger Focus is connected if the student has a Focus, and so on and so forth. If the device is not connected, it will show a screen that says no device detected. If this happens, it's typically because something is not charged or not working. You can just go ahead and try and put the devices closer together and try again, or the device may need to be charged in order to connect it, or batteries may need to be replaced for a hearing aid or Roger Focus. To wear this device, you simply disconnect this clip here, put it around your neck. It should be worn around the neck whenever the teacher is primarily talking. There is an adjusting strap here that you pull to tighten and then pull the system back in order to loosen. The system should be about thumb to pinky away from here. So mouth on thumb, top of device on pinky, and that is the distance it should be worn to optimize the microphones to pick up your voice and again send it to the student device. If the student is working in a group or wants to pick up several voices around them in a small group setting, the device can be placed on a table or a surface. Then it turns into a group mode where it picks up sound in all directions rather than just a vertical direction picking up the teacher's voice. This should only be used in small group settings where everybody who is talking is within close proximity to the device. For a classroom discussion, if placed on the table and all the students are scattered around the classroom, it will not pick up around the entire classroom, only when small amounts of kids are sitting together. If you want to use it with a device such as a student Chromebook or an iPad, you can use an auxiliary cord. There is a port here that is a headphone jack or an aux jack that you can plug an aux cord in, and then plug the other end of an aux cord into the headphone jack of whatever device you're using in order for the student to directly connect to the device. They can also use that at home or in pods when they are using the laptop in order to Zoom. They can plug the FM in and use their system the same way they would be using it in class, but with a system. If you are in a private conversation with another student or you do not want the student to hear what you are saying, you can mute this at any time. Again, the mute button is down here at the bottom. When you press it, it will blink red to show that it is muted. In order to resume talking, you just click it again, and when it stops blinking, it's unmuted. You can mute for any length of time, and it should stay muted until you press that button again. When the screen is off and you want to turn it on and able to see the screen or use any function on it, most people have a tendency to click that mute button to activate it, but if you do that, it will mute it. Instead, you can just click once on the power button to turn the screen on. In order to turn it off at the end of the school day, press and hold the button until everything shuts down. It will prompt you as a power off screen. Power off, there's yes and no at the top. You just select yes, and it will flash and turn off. The device should be turned off at the end of every single school day and plugged in so it is ready to go for the next school day. And I think that is all the functions. If you have any questions at all, please feel free to contact me at any time. This device is pretty straightforward, but it does have some troubleshooting errors sometimes or challenges that can be confusing. So please feel free to reach out with any support you may need in the future working with our students. Thank you so much.